We are Mrs. Hammond's third grade class. We are your host for your January Assembly.
I'm Bentley, and I want to tell you about our Bright Futures Blue Barrel collection for this month. This month we are collecting and encouraging notes for students and staff. February is Kindness Month, and you can show your kindness through a note.
Hi, I'm Emery, and our first awards are the Wildcat of the Month and Service Above Self. The Wildcat of the Month is given to 2 students in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. Their Service Above Self award goes to a 3rd grader who gives back in some way. Here's our counselor, Mr. Graber, to present these awards.
Thanks, guys. So we will start with our first award, which is our Service Above Self award. Once again, we want to thank our Rotary Club for sponsoring that. So our Service Above Self student for the month of January is Lyrics Culver. Congratulations to Lyrics, 3rd grade student. Our next awards are our Wildcats of the Month award. We want to thank once again our Harrisonville Police Department for sponsoring this award. We will start with our 1st graders, and our 1st grade Wildcats of the Month are Logan Kane and Hazley Burgess. 2nd grade Wildcats of the Month are Jackson Parkhurst and Waylon Burnett. And finally, our 3rd grade Wildcats of the Month are Kiana Deerdorf and Brogan Witherspoon. So congratulations to all those winners. And finally, Mrs. Sumner and I always pick every month a counseling class that we feel contributes to teamwork and discussion. So this month's nominee, this is what Mrs. Sumner said. This class got the award for working together and helping each other complete the Grumpy Monkey Scavenger Hunt. So for the class that did that, Mrs. Sumner gave that award to Mrs. Maxwell's 1st grade class. Congratulations, guys.
I'm Marcus. Since we just heard from Mr. Graber, it's a good time to thank him and Mrs. Summer for everything they do. The first week of February is Natural Counseling Week, and we have great counselors at HES.
I'm Aiden. Thank you to all the families who came out to our Holocaust night last week. We loved seeing everyone there, and we made a lot of money for our field day in May.
I'm David. Next up is our Character Trait Award winners. The Character Trait awards are given to 2 students chosen by their classroom teacher who have exhibited self-confidence during the month of January. Here's our principal, Dr. Flunky, to announce this month's winners.
Thank you for that introduction. Our January Self-Confidence Award winners are Lily Tomlinson, Lacey Schaefer, Ethan Coltrane, Zoe Stanley, Abel Cass, Melena McCubbin, Calvin Bass, Waylon Cope, Peyton Chenoweth, Aaron Brown, Vera Lee McSparron, Oliver Moreland, Carly Brown, Ivy Mueller, Harley Highmiller, Lane Stevens, Meredith Bowers, Araya Johnson, Connor Boyd, Chase Petchel, Max Talby, Ava Plant, Weston Courtney, Zachary Manchester, Calvin Culpepper, Liam Coltrane, Sammy Killsworth, Jeremiah Sims, Caleb Vanalist, Hadley Sexton, Ben Miller, Weston Glenn, Sydney McKernan, Christopher Randazzo, Scarlett Bridges, Jason Goddard, Avery Gorman, Kaiser Holt, Raylan Linder, Lazarus Bollinger, Elena Gutierrez Young, Andreas Lamelli, Charlotte Griffey, Parker Sharp, and Eva Claxton. Congratulations to our January Self-Confidence Award winners.
Hi, I'm Adeline. Our spring parties are in February. We'll celebrate on February 16th. Parents who have signed up to help can begin checking in at HES at 2:30.
I'm Ray, and our Mathematician of the Month is the next award. This award is given to one student chosen by their classroom teacher that has done an outstanding job with math over the past month. Here's Ms. Schrott to announce our winners.
Ms. Schrott was unavailable, so I'm going to give the January Mathematician Awards. Our award winners are Caitlin Duncan, Finn Wise, Frederick Obermiller, Dallas Hall, Derek Torres, Reese McInnes, Max Rain, McKenna Lewis, Everett Holbrook, David Gravy, Parker Jackson, Olivia Johnston, Kayana Deerdorf, Kobe Wilson, Titus Tiemann, Grant Conruff, Olivia Talbert, Wesley Lawson, Bryson Westover, Wyatt Bird, Braylee Williams, Jackson Cross, and Leandro Phillips. Congratulations to our January mathematicians.
I am Jace, and I'm here to introduce our specials teachers to present their awards. Here are Miss Bathgate, Miss Hearn, Coach Thorpe, and Miss Lawman.
Hi HES, Coach Thorpe here. I'm going to announce our Sportsmanship Award winners for this month. For our class award, it goes to Miss Hastings' second grade class. Congratulations. First grade, we have Ketra Buckingham and Fletcher Huckabee. Very good job. Second grade, we have Kira Newland and Declan Pierce. Congratulations. And third grade, we have Kayana Deerdorf and Asher Atkins. Congratulations.
Hi Wildcats, it's Mrs. Bathgate here to announce our class winner for the month of January. This month our winner is Miss Kerrigan's second grade class. Congratulations.
Hi Wildcats, excited to come to you again today to announce our January Music Awards. We have 3 classes that have been showing excellent behavior and being role model citizens in the music room, also showing their great musical talent and musical efforts. And so today I want to congratulate in 3rd grade Mrs. Comfort's class, in 2nd grade Mrs. Hastings' class, and in 1st grade Mrs. Blumquist's class. Good job, Wildcats. Next, I want to announce our individual Music Star Awards, and I'll start with our 3rd grade classes. In Mrs. Brown's class, congrats to Millie Wolf. In Mrs. Comfort's class, Remington Larkham. In Mrs. Geary's class, Brecklin Wilson. In Mrs. Gerke's class, Aria Johnson. In Mrs. Hammond's class, Bentley Johnson. In Mrs. Hawkins' class, Benton Litchfield. And in Mrs. Hopper's class, Charlotte Arnold. In our 2nd grade classes, starting with Miss Harrigan's class, congrats to Max Talby. In Mrs. Hastings' class, Mackenzie Wright. In Mrs. Holman's class, Cassidy Irvin. In Mrs. Knight's class, Kendall Aviles. In Mrs. Peters' class, Raylan Linder. In Mrs. Siegenthaler's class, Elena Gutierrez Young. In Mrs. Studley's class, Katie Harris. And then in our 1st grade classes, in Mrs. Blumquist's class, congratulations to Brady Williams. In Mrs. Brown's class, Maddie Schroeder. In Mrs. Cooper's class, Braden Kuykendall. In Mrs. Florence's class, Ellie, and I'm just going to say Ellie H. And then in Mrs. French Ward's class, Mason Krabs. In Mrs. Hearn's class, Cameron Lakey. In Miss Maxwell's class, Layla Reynolds. And in Mrs. Mitchell's class, Elena Clark. Good job, Wildcats.
We have one more new award for the month of January. Starting this month, any student who was here 95% of the time will receive an attendance award. At this time, if you are one of those students, your teacher will give you your certificate. Congratulations.
I'm Chase, and before we go, I want to remind you that we will not have school on February 12th or February 19th. Thanks for watching.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15.